I'm graced to have, I think, close to the last word. I'm not sure if it's the last word, but close to the last word. My name is Tom Smolich. I'm the International Director of Jesuit Refugee Service. We began this day with Mass, and I welcomed the community there to the Borgia Chapel. I'm at the end of the program here, and thanking you for having taken the time to be in the Jesuit Aula. As Mary said, making in reference to a meeting in 1994, this room is used for what are called general congregations of the Jesuits, where we come together either to elect a new Father General or to discuss and make important decisions. And that was one of those in 1994, was to focus on what do the Jesuits need to be doing at this point in time? And that decree on women that you mentioned was one of the key documents of that congregation. I've been fortunate to be at two of those congregations, the two after that, and I have to tell you, as much as I enjoyed those, being in this room filled with Jesuits, there's a different energy when it's filled with men and women, especially women, and I've enjoyed this very much. So let me first of all say a profound thank you, grazie mille, to everyone who has participated in all the ways, from being here to planning it, to translating, to getting the audio hookups working, to all of our speakers for having shared your stories, shared what is important to you, and especially to Chantal for making all of this work. Chantal and everybody else, thank you so much. Because I'm a Jesuit, I can't help but talk in 3 points, so allow me to make 3 brief points. We've been graced today to hear women of the Church, and Luke. Thank you, church women, for sharing your stories, for sharing your perspectives. I have been moved. I think all of us have been moved, applauded, saddened, grieved, excited by what we have heard. It's been a very powerful time, I think, for everybody here. Second, towards the end here, we talked a bit about Vatican II, and I think the idea of Vatican II moving us all forward. But Vatican II was also designed to be a renewal of the tradition. And I think it's the human condition to focus on what we know and forget about what else is out there, what has come from the past. There is a lot of richness in the history of the Church, especially of women's roles in the Church. Deacons, Catherine of Siena, an abbess walking in. More than that, it's our narrowness that gets us stuck in the images and the way we are doing business right now. And grace is always designed to open us up in ways that surprise us and challenge our set patterns that we think are the truth. They rarely are, and we've heard that today. And finally, let me add one water image to our water conversation. Those of you who have made the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius know that when he's talking about the rules for the discernment of spirits, he talks about the power of grace, the good spirit or the good angel, as he would say. But the power of grace is like water coming into a sponge for the soul who is making progress. And the evil spirit is like water bouncing off of a stone, again, for the soul making progress. The exact opposite, unfortunately, also works. The evil spirit is soaked up from somebody who's going in the wrong direction, and in the wrong direction, the good spirit bounces off. I think we've had a couple of moments today to ask, where is the Church? Is it that sponge wanting to hear the good spirit which is here today, or is it a rock that's letting the water bounce off? Maybe it's a sponge. We've all seen some of those sponges that are sitting under our sinks that get really hard. They've been moistened and dried out and moistened and dried out. Let's face it, parts of the church have been dried out. And so it takes more than a little water to get the sponge soaking things up again. I firmly believe that this outpouring today is part of the current, the eddies, the tides, everything that we've been talking about, that is filling the sponge with water that will eventually pour out in the ways that grace does. The life, the water, the hope in Jesus Christ. So I'd want to finish paraphrasing Cardinal Joseph Tobin, the Archbishop of Newark. In an interview with America Magazine, he said something resembling this. I changed a couple of words. I hope that women will continue to speak the truth, and speak the truth to power when you need to. And let us never forget the joy that we have because of God's incredible love. Thank you all for being part of this today. It's been a terrific day.